The time has finally come. The Qatar World Cup is kicking off this Sunday, and it is a bit of a weird one because it is being held in the winter time, and well, it's the first time that's ever happened, and well, it's also stopped your ordinary club football. That's stopped for its international break, but it's not just any old international break. It's not international friendlies or the Nation League. It is the main thing, which you normally expect at the end of the season, but we'll go with it. And here are my score predictions for each of the group stage games for match day 1. Let's begin with the hosts Qatar kicking it off as usual, facing Ecuador this time. And well, we only have friendlies from previous games to go off from each of these last countries' games. Qatar, they picked up a 2-2 draw against Chile. They also managed to get a 1-1 draw against Jamaica in their last couple of games. I think Qatar will win this one. I'll go 1-0 to the hosts. I think the hosts a little bit underestimated going into the World Cup. I mean, obviously they are favourites to finish bottom of the group, but I'm not sure with that one, and I do think that they'll open it up with all 3 points here against Ecuador, who have not had the greatest past games. Ecuador haven't. They've got quite a lot of 0-0 draws. A 0-0 draw against Saudi Arabia, a 0-0 draw against Iraq, and a 0-0 draw against Japan in their last 3 games as well. So I'm going to go for a Qatar victory to open us off here. Okay, we're moving on now to Group B, which is kicking off at 1 o'clock on the Monday before we will go back to a Group A game. It's a bit of a weird way on how the website is setting this out, but we'll go with it. England against Iran. Yeah, England's first game should be a pretty easy one. I'll go for a nice, comfortable 3-0 victory for England in this one, although I do expect Iran to have a pretty good group. I mean, we all know the group is full of loads of tough nations. England, Iran being 2 of them, and then also USA and Wales being the other 2 in Group B. It's a very tough group, but I'm going to back England to get a nice, comfortable victory here. Okay, next up, we've got Senegal against the Netherlands, another Group A game, the final Group A game. And, well, I'll back both sides to score, but I think Netherlands will be able to win this one. Should be pretty easy. I'll go 3-1 to the Netherlands in this one. And then the final game in Group B, which is USA against Wales. Wales, they did well to qualify for the World Cup, got through via the playoffs after beating Ukraine, and I fancy them to pick up all 3 points in this one, actually, against the USA. I'll back both sides to score, but it'll be a narrow 2-1 victory to Wales in this one. Okay, we're going to move on now to Group C. Argentina kicking us off against Saudi Arabia, where Argentina, they are going on a really good run at the moment. I think it's like 25 unbeaten at the moment in the past 25 games for Argentina. They've gone on a really good run. They're scoring tons of goals, and against the Saudi Arabia side, who I am not confident for at all. I think it's going to be a big one here. I'm going to go Argentina 5, Saudi Arabia 0 for this one. And then we've got a Group D game here with Denmark against Tunisia, the first Group D matchup being played here at 1 o'clock. Yeah, I'll expect Denmark to win this one. Another side that I think will do pretty well in the competition. We'll wait and see how far they can make it. Denmark, I would like to say, is a little bit of an underrated side, and you know they don't have any main names in their squad, but when they come together, we saw what they did in the Euros. They are a very tough side. So yeah, another team to watch out for here, but I'm going to go for a Denmark 2-0 victory against Tunisia. Okay, we've got the other Group C game with Mexico against Poland. Both sides could make it out of their group, Group C. Of course, you'd like to think Argentina make it out, and then it is between Mexico and Poland. So I think this game really determines who makes it out in second place. And I think it's even going to go right down to the wire. And I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go 1-1. And I think both of these sides are going to end on the same amount of points, and it will go down to goal difference on who makes it out of the group. We've got our final game in Group D, which is France against Australia. Australia, doing very well to make it through to the World Cup, but against the France side that have got loads of quality players. They currently are not having the greatest of performances, but I think they should be able to get through this one. I'll go for a nice 2-0 victory to France here. I'm not going to go, absolutely mental on the scoreline here, but it'll be a nice victory for France, all 3 points. And then we're going to move on now to Group F and Group E, starting off with the Group F game, which is Morocco against Croatia. This is going to be a good game. Morocco, of course, made it all the way through to the semi-finals of the AFCON, I do believe. Croatia, a European side that, last World Cup, they made it all the way through to the finals before they did lose 4-2 to France. That was on the 2018 Russia World Cup. I'm going to back the European side in this one. I'll back both sides to score. It'll be a narrow 2-1 victory to Croatia, I think. And then the first game in Group E, Germany against Japan. I'm going to go for a Germany victory. Nice and easy. 4-0 victory here. Nothing more to say. The German side is full of quality at the moment. And yeah, they went through a bit of a 50-50 Nations League, really. They picked up some really good results. And then also they picked up a few, surprising results. They lost one. There was a Hungary, but then they did beat Italy like 5-2 as well in the Nations League games as well. So, any crazy score could happen in the World Cup. But I think this should be Germany's game and an easy victory here. Okay, we've got the other game in Group E now with Spain coming up against Costa Rica. Should be a nice, easy victory for Spain in this one. I'll go for 2-0 here. And then the other game being Belgium against Canada, the final game in Group F. Belgium squad, again, full of quality. I'm going to go for a 4-0 victory to the Red Devils in this one. And, nice start to their World Cup campaign. Okay, on to Group G and to Group H now, where these are the final two groups for the Matchday 1 predictions. We've got Switzerland against Cameroon. This one will be an interesting one. Switzerland didn't have the greatest of Nation Leagues, after the pretty good Euros that they did have. I know Nations League is just the Nations League and anything could happen in it. Switzerland, not any main names in their squad, but I think they can come together here, and I'm going to go for a draw in this one, 1-1. Then we'll move on to the first game in Group H, which is Uruguay against South Korea, where I'm going to back the South American side to pick up. I'll go for a narrow 1-0 victory here. Nothing too big. I think both sides will hold off each other, and then I'll back Uruguay just to nick it at the end. And then we've got the final game in Group H and the final game in Group H and the final game in Group G. Portugal against Ghana, finishing us off for Group H, where I am going to back Portugal to beat Ghana. It's whether or not I do think Ghana will get one or not. Yeah, I think they will do, but I think Portugal obviously will pick up all 3 points, and I'll go for a nice 3-1 victory to Portugal here. And then we finish off with Brazil against Serbia. This one will be a bit of a tough one. Again, I fully expect Brazil to get off to a good start, but Serbia during like the World Cup qualifiers and also the Nations League as well, that they were brilliant. They have picked up some really good results, Serbia, and definitely do not write them off. I am going to back a Brazil victory here, and I am going to go for a nice, comfortable Brazil victory here as well, like 3-1 Brazil. But Serbia's past results, they beat Norway 2-0, they beat Sweden 4-1. They've got some really good results in there, and they're scoring quite a lot of goals. So I do think that they will score one against Brazil here. Maybe a Mitrovic goal, doing really well for Fulham in the Premier League. But that does wrap up my score predictions for the first game week, going through all the groups. Again, I'll be uploading for game week 2 and then for game week 3 before we go into the knockout stages for the round of 16 and the quarterfinals and so on and so on. So yeah, if you did enjoy, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. World Cup content's coming throughout this month. So yeah, do stay tuned for that. I'll see you all next time. Bye.